Good morning, dear students. I want you to open page 26, chapter number 5, our new lesson for today, People Who Help Us. It is too early for me to ask you, students, what do you want to become in life? But most of you will surely say, Teacher, I want to become a doctor, teacher, nurse, or a space scientist. Those of you who have thought about it, very good. But those of you who have not thought about it, it's okay. You have a lot of time to decide. But my question is, why do you think people become doctors, teachers, nurses, or space scientists? In other words, why do you think people take up a profession? Is it important or not? It is important. It is important mainly for two reasons. Let us look at them. First, based on our choices. That is interest and abilities. You can choose to become someone in life if you have the interest for it and the ability to do that work. Second, to earn money. Let's take another example. Your parents are working, aren't they? Especially in this lockdown, they are working from home. Now, why do you think they are working? They are working to earn money. And with money, you can buy the food to eat. Second, clothes to wear. And shelter to live in is the third reason. So with all this, we get a new word, that is occupation. Now, what is occupation? Occupation is any work that we do to earn money or livelihood, and if we have the interest and ability for that, it's called occupation. Now, Mahatma Gandhi, our national leader, told us, no job is inferior or superior. That is, it is wrong if I say your job is not having any hard work in it and my job is having so much of hard work. It is wrong like that, children, because we have to respect every kind of job we do. Now, I will move on to learning about helping professions. What do you mean by helping professions? Helping professions is when you render help in a small way or in a big way. Let us take our first example. Our first helping profession is farming. Farmers work endlessly in fields to provide food for us. To get further information, I want you to take a look at this video now.
Let us throw light on the life of farmers and the process of farming in India. Before I would talk any further about farming, I want you to repeat after me. Farming is the most important occupation in India. Let us say it together now. Farming is the most important occupation in India. Now, why do you think farming is an important occupation in India? There are mainly three reasons. First, food. We get our food through farming. Second, livelihood. There are many farmers in India who depend on farming for their livelihood. They work for hours together to earn a living. Third, fertile lands. There are acres and acres of land in India that are fertile. So why not use them for cultivation? Let us do an activity now.
So students, we shall have our own flower pot. All you need is a plant and a vase. What we have to do is first loosen the soil a little so that the roots of the plant spread nicely inside. Next, I insert it right in the middle of the vase and evenly spread the soil around it so that it gets all the nutrients from the soil. I have to water the plant every day or alternate days. Now that depends. Some plants need a lot of water, some plants need less water. And you have to keep it in a place where it gets proper sunlight, because a plant, to grow well, a plant needs air, water and sunlight. And if you do it every day, after few months, you will find your result. You may find a small bud or a flower blooming. I hope you enjoy this activity.
From this activity, we have learned it takes days and months for a flower to bloom with necessary care and nurturing. In farming too, there is a pattern to follow. Farmers start with ploughing the fields. In ploughing, farmers loosen the soil in preparation for sowing the seeds. The second stage, sowing the seeds in line. The third stage, watering the crops so that the soil has the moisture required for the growth of the plant. The fourth stage, spraying insecticides and weedicides to kill all insects. And the final stage is harvesting. After 8 to 9 months, farming reaches its final stage, where the crops are cut and cleaned to be sold in the market. Now, let us know the difference between fertile lands and barren lands. Fertile lands have soft and nutrient-filled soil. We all know humans need food to eat. Similarly, plants need food to eat. They get their food from the nutrients present in the soil. While a barren land has dry soil, it has many cracks. Why? Because the land was overused for farming. Let's learn the meaning of overuse. This child here was told to watch TV for only 1 hour, but he went on watching it for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and 5 hours. The TV became hot as it was overused. That is, using beyond capacity. In the same way, a land becomes barren when it's overused. What's the solution now? To leave the land uncultivated for a few years and allow nature to replenish it. This is an example of a fertile land. The plant will grow healthy and green. These are the traditional methods of farming, where the farmer used a wheel, bullocks, and a well for farming. But technology today has made the work of farmers so easy and light. However, in some parts of India too, farmers still use the traditional methods of farming. Let us look at some modern ways of farming. We have the tractors for ploughing and irrigation and the spring to water the crops. Moving further, what do we get from farming? We get cereals and pulses, fruits and vegetables, tea. Tea is an important plantation in North India. Spices, bamboo, jute, and cotton. What does a plant need to grow? There are 4 important conditions. First, good weather. Plants do not grow in conditions where it is too hot or too cold. Second, good soil. Plants grow best in fertile soil. Third, good amount of water. The right amount of water will decide the growth of a plant. And fourth, the growth of the plant depends in which season it is grown in. Some crops grow throughout the year while some crops grow in a particular season. Another type of farming is cattle farming. In cattle farming, they rear cow, goat, buffalo, and bull for many purposes. They use the cow, goat, and buffalo to give us milk and meat, and a bull to plow and irrigate fields. Let's learn about poultry farming. In poultry farming, we rear domesticated birds like ducks, hens, geese, and turkeys. There is a difference between ducks and geese. Geese are larger than the ducks and have a longer neck. They provide us with eggs and meat. So, children, we have learned that farming is the most important occupation in India. There are many people in India who depend on farming for their livelihood. We understood the difference between fertile land and barren land, the different foods we get from farming, and the growth of crops depends on good weather, fertile soil, right amount of water, and the season it is grown in. And last, we've gained understanding about cattle farming and poultry farming.
I hope this video was informative and we have learned that farmers work tirelessly to provide us with nutritious and healthy food. Now moving on to our next helping profession, that is doctors. A doctor is a person who treats sick people. How do they do that? They prescribe medicines if we have a cold, cough, fever, or a stomach upset. They give us injections if needed. They give us vaccination to protect us from diseases like polio, cholera, TB, or also called as tuberculosis, and malaria. A doctor will clean and cover your wounds with a bandage. And last, he will advise you to eat nutritious and healthy food. Now let us learn about the kinds of doctors. First, we have the veterinary doctor. If your pet is unwell, he is not eating or is not playful like before, you can take him to a veterinary doctor. He will treat your pet and prescribe medicines. Now when we go to an ophthalmologist, ophthalmologist is a person who is expert in eye problems or also called as eye specialist. So when you cannot see close objects or far objects, or when you have to change the lenses of your spectacles, you can visit an ophthalmologist. Moving on, you have a dentist. Now when do we go to a dentist? Children go to a dentist when they have cavities or when they have to insert braces, while adults or older people go to a dentist to put dentures or false teeth. And last, you have a cardiologist who is a heart specialist. They will tackle problems related to your heart. Let us revise this. You have a veterinary doctor, ophthalmologist, dentist, and a cardiologist. Now, people who live in a city will visit a hospital when they are sick. People who live in a big village will go to a dispensary. There are many doctors and nurses in a dispensary to treat sick people. Next, group of villages. Let us learn this term group of villages. For example, if I have village number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are all villages. So together they form a group when we call it as a group of villages. So a group of villages belong to a primary health center. Here again you have doctors and nurses to treat sick people. Now last one is other. What do you mean by other? Other means those people who cannot move from their houses for reasons like they are sick, they are old, or they cannot walk. So they can avail of this opportunity or use the mobile dispensary. A mobile dispensary is a van or a bus that is well equipped with medicines, medical requirements, a doctor and a nurse. They travel from one place to the other to attend to people who are sick. So those people who cannot go to a city, that is hospital, dispensary and a primary health center, can avail of this opportunity of a mobile dispensary. So children, we learned about farming and doctors today. In our next class, I will introduce other helping professions, that is teachers, policemen and firemen. So till then, read your chapter thoroughly and try to solve the questions that are based on these two professions. Till then, stay healthy, stay safe.